hello. Where's he at? I say hello. Switch your brain. Hey, Turk, it's your birthday.
Welcome back, Reading a Z, week 11.
12.
It all feels the same.
Week 12 recap. Yeah, I mean, Thanksgiving embarrassment in front of over 3 million people, 3 million viewers. Yeah, we got manhandled. 45-10 was the final score. Cowboys put up 25 in the fourth quarter. The game was a lot closer initially than it looked like. But yeah, another embarrassment, another abysmal. Jack Del Rio has been fired.
Amen.
We got about 50% of what we desired all season. We'll see what's to come.
Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine.
Yeah.
Jack is gone. I told Satan, get thee behind.
Hey.
Now, all jokes aside, though, but finally, your man is out of there.
Yeah. I mean, your man calling the plays. Like, what you feel? How you feel about that?
Hey, my man, I was asking you, like, can we confirm Ron as a play caller?
Yeah, I
can we really confirm him?
I think they said he hasn't called plays since 2019.
Yeah.
So that would have been what, like his last year in Carolina.
The year he got fired on things. I think it was after the game. After we played them, it was Thanksgiving. They fired him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, to me, I was telling somebody the other day, it's a low key, like, damn, the head coach, you making him call defense. I don't know if it was Ron's decision. I don't know if it was the owner's decision. I don't know whose decision, but hypothetically, like, damn, you the head coach and now you call it. You know what I mean? You've been forced to call the defense. We'll see. But it looks like they're trying to play it respectful with Ron. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like we always said, Ron was tasked with a unique task coming here, taking over this team, running this team, being the head coach, rebuilding this culture. So there is a little bit of respect level there. He went through the cancer situation, and he pushed through. So, I mean, someday this will definitely be a story to tell. It didn't end. I'm sure it's not ending the way he wanted to end, of course. But yeah, it seems like ownership is trying to be respectful with Ron. They sending him out the right way. So I'm hearing they're gonna let him finish the season. So we'll see. But I mean, it's not much to talk about as far as Thursday. I mean, we can go through stats, but you know, Sam finished with 300 yards, sacked 4 times, 1 interception, which was a pick 6 to Bland. B-Rob had 15 carries, 53 yards. Gibby had 6 carries, 21 yards. Rodriguez got in the mix with 4 for 21. And Sam had 2 for 13 and a rushing touchdown.
So Rodriguez has had the same amount of yards that Gibson had on less carries.
2 less carries. We had Curtis Samuel. We had somebody crack 100 yards this year. Curtis Samuel had 9 receptions, 100 yards. Dotson had 5 receptions, 52. McLaurin, 4 receptions, 50 yards. Like, it just continues to be like, what's going on? I mean, he had 11 targets, 4 receptions. Interesting.
Yeah, Terry, you have to be better, especially on the bomb play when they took the shot. I mean, I get it, Gilmore was holding one of your arms, but you're paid to make that play. It's time that we stop giving excuses for these players and call them out. Like we call out the coaches who aren't playing it down. They're on the sideline with a headset on. The players got to make plays at the end of the day. And Terry, you're supposed to be a captain, a leader, the face of the franchise. That's terrible. You can't say you didn't get targets because they targeted you. And you come down with 4 grabs and you want to be considered a top 10 receiver in this league?
Yeah. I mean, it's not much I can say to defend Terry on that one.
And
11 targets for 4
I got
catches.
one thing I want to talk about. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Go ahead.
the interception, the record he got, the 5th pick, 6 to the crib. Is that a good ball by Sam? Even if he does get more, even if he does zip it more, is that a good decision?
Nah, I think that was a bad decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he stared him down the whole play. You know what I mean? It just he led him right to where he was going.
He probably should have got that interception a long time ago because it was a couple plays to Terry there. It was highly questionable. Like, why are you forcing that ball there?
Yeah, definitely.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't tripping.
Yeah, defensively, nothing, no sacks. Again, another game, no sacks. Cody Barton was back. He had 4 solo tackles, 2 assists. Fuller had 4 tackles, 1 assist. Deron Payne 3, John Allen 1, Cam Carroll 4, 1 assist. Like nothing standing out on this stat sheet. Crowder had 2 punt returns for 9 yards. Yeah, man, it just was it was like a flip. Excuse me. It was just like wasn't able to get anything for real. That run by Sam was pretty, another situation was pretty gutsy. It was a QB keeper. And he got in the end zone. At that time, the score was 10-10. So they say that again.
I think they were up by. They was always up by like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Something like that. I thought it was
So it could have been maybe 14-10 or somewhere in there. But he he got in the end zone, and I definitely thought it was going to be a little bit more fight coming from this team, at least. But leading up to the week, I pretty much figured that we was gonna lose. And I was low key saying, well, if we lose, it ain't gonna be too bad of a thing because someone's gonna get fired. I was expecting Ron and Jack. It ended up being Jack. So, like I said, we'll see what happens out of this. But there was a report came out that a lot of players are hoping that they wanted less authority for the enemy because they're saying they still don't like the enemy. I don't know how true that may be, but it's just like at this point, man, you guys are coaches and players are a joke. Like blow all this shit up. What I mean? Deron Payne, you got your bread last year. You my man. I don't know if it was the scheme switched up or what, but you're not the player that you was last year. This year, what I mean? He got in and got a few sacks this year, but he's just not producing the same. Just the defense as a whole is just like, what is going on? And it's like, is it like it asks you, is it the players or is it the coaches? I mean, I see you laughing. I mean, but it's true. I mean, they was just talking about with Chase Young. How in the hell, it was a thing here with Chase Young being a stand-up DN. He goes to 49ers and he has his hand down every single play. You know what I mean? Like, what changed? You know what I mean? What changed? I thought it was Chase prefers to stand up. And the coach, his father actually mentioned that here in Washington that it was more so a Jack thing or the defense rather than Chase. And it could have been true. Or did he go out 49ers and they say, look, you putting your hand down and this is what it's going to be. So it just make you think like, was Jack soft? Are we too lenient? What's up? I don't know. How you feel about that? I see you chuckling.
Yeah, I'm chuckling because so now we're going to indict Deron Payne.
I'm not indicting him. I'm just saying,
is that where it has come?
I'm not indicting him. It's like, bro, like, what's up? Like, is it you or is it the defense? That's all I'm asking.
So we got to put the blame somewhere now. Jack is gone. So now it's paid for. Next week is going to be Allen for. He got a contract 2 years.
It's been Allen for. I've been saying Trey John Allen. I ain't on
how many plays that Payne made in this Dallas game? And you're going to talk about that he may not be getting home on the sacks. He's a defensive tackle. That's not his job to get sacks. His job is to affect the run game
fill the gap,
and to get sacks when needed.
free up the linebackers. Correct.
That's the free up linebackers so they can move, they can flow, they can make tackles. That's the purpose of a defensive tackle.
Absolutely.
So now you're talking about he got paid. Pain is all over the film. He disrupts a lot of things. So we're not gonna sit up here and try to say Payne got paid. Nah, he fell off.
I'm just polling the question.
What are we doing here?
I'm just polling the question again. Like I started, I said Payne is my man, but I'm just thinking, like, what's going on? Like he was disruptive as shit last year. This year, I mean, he's just not as disruptive. So it's just like, did the scheme change? Like, are you less motivated? Like, what? That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling for his job. I'm just saying
definitely causing chaos in the backfield. He may not be getting home on the sacks. Nobody's getting home on the sacks, but he's definitely causing chaos in the run game. He's doing his job. He's clogging gaps. He's letting these linebackers run free. The only good thing that linebackers do is tackle in the run game. They can't cover nothing. So, I mean, to me, with all due respect, that's comical. Okay. You could have went anywhere else, but Payne, that's comical.
And like I said, I ain't calling for the man's job. I just had a question. That's all. Like, what's up? You know what I mean? It's bad. And I mean, it's just looking forward again. We'll see. I guess we'll see against the Dolphins if there's any spark put into this defense now that Ron's calling it or what. It's just like, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be a spark or is it gonna be anything? And I'm not saying that we need to go out and win these games because at this point, what are we doing?
You're talking about a spark. Coach Money said before, I ain't seen a spark yet.
Yeah, that's what we gonna
even know why.
That's what we gonna be calling.
Talking about a spark.
Yeah, so I don't know, man, but yeah, stay sharp, trash ass players. For sure.
I'm curious to see because what I've read and what I've been told is it's going to be some simplification of this defense. I'm told that it was maybe too complex for some of these players. So Ron said he's gonna break things down. They're gonna simplify some things. He said he also in his presser he said he was on with what Jack was doing, but it was some things that he sees differently.
He disagreed with. I peeped that. He did say that.
So we're going to see.
Yeah, but what took you so long? Like, did you have to wait for the season to pretty much be over for you to make that move, Ron? Like, you know what I mean? He said it was one of the toughest things he had ever had to do. You know what I mean? That's like basically Z going to Reedy and saying, Reedy, you fired. Or Reedy coming to Z and saying, Z, you fired. It's the Reedy show or it's the Z show. You know what I mean? So that's just mad. Of course, that's something hard to do. I understand that. But at the end of the day, when this is a podcast. This is an NFL team. When you're the head coach and you're the personnel guy and you're charged to run this organization and this team, you got to make those tough decisions. And holding on to Jack Del Rio all this time, and when you know it's your last year, pretty much, you know what I mean? You know they coming for you. You lucky you got this year. The only reason you still here this year because the sale took too long. You know what I mean? So it's like he just didn't show no urgency with the situation. And I don't know. It just maybe like, damn, so since we damn near mathematically out of it, now you make the move? I don't know. It's baffling, man. Baffling.
Yeah, he did say he was looking at this for the last few weeks. I mean, I guess it's like, you know, you want to be loyal. I mean, I get it. It's a business. You know, it's cutthroat. It's cutthroat for players. So it got to be the same way with coaches. But I never call for nobody to lose their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's technically their livelihood. That's how they feed their family. Yeah, maybe a high lavish livelihood, but that's what they do. They put in a lot of hours. They put in a lot of time. They probably work more than a lot of us work. So, as far as the time factor and the hours to put in. So I'm never calling for nobody's job, but it's definitely a change needed to be made. But the thing that I struggle with is if it was the defensive backs coach Wieselmeyer, why didn't you get him out of there? Like, exactly. I mean, I'm hearing that he wasn't qualified. He just only experience he had was working with Jack before. So I guess that was Jack's boy. He worked at
that buddy shit.
high school level. He didn't really have too much experience, and he's your defensive backs coach.
So he was the guy that replaced Harris.
He was an assistant under Harris, and I guess instead of going out and elevating somebody more, they wanted to keep it in house because I guess they didn't want to step on no toes. Like he's the next one person up, next man up mentality.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds super shaky. That sounds super shaky. Yeah, West just said firing Jack Del Rio and leaving Ron here is more of a joke than anything.
I knew they wasn't gonna fire Ron anyway because Harris, he's a true businessman. He wants to see the full body of work. And then also he may want to see while there's adversity, can he come out on the other side of the adversity? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you losing, but can you turn it around?
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, at us as fans, to us it's not worth it. But maybe in the building, maybe Magic Johnson and them may see something differently. Like, yeah, we talk our stuff about Ron. He's been terrible, but I feel for the guy, and the only reason why I feel for the guy is because I feel like he's busted his ass. He's tried. He really tried. Like he don't seem like it's just like for not. Like he's really trying to turn this thing around. He really trying to change the culture and this, that, and the third. But yes, he does have to go. But at the same time, I feel for the guy a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tad bit. How do you not know that the defense is too complex for your players? That's a great question. I mean,
I think they knew. They just try to mask it. That's all coaches. And I was talking to somebody else, a heckler that was in my comment. I ain't gonna say their name, but it's somebody we know. Talking about we fire a coach or something like that, but why don't we start with the players? This is that and the third or whatever. And I had to let them know sometimes these coaches, they're stubborn because they want the players to conform to their scheme because the way they want to run it. But me as a coach, if I was ever a coach, I'm going to run what my players do well, not what my scheme is. I could care less about my scheme and what I want to do. Use your players to the best of their ability, what they do well. If I know I got a zone corner, I'm not going to put him in man-to-man. I know he struggles in man-to-man. I'm going to play zone, especially if he's supposed to be one of your top draft picks or whomever. If I know I got a linebacker he can't cover, I may put him in a situation where he utilize his speed to get him to the quarterback, what he did well in college. Like, you draft these guys and you bring these guys in, and then you don't use the skills that makes them great. And you want them to do something totally else that's outside of their preview. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, definitely. I want to piggyback on that too. I pretty much agree with you. I can go back to when we was in high school, my senior year. Our coach, he was one of those coaches. He was complex. He came in like the year before with this highly detailed offense. You got when you call in the plays, he ran it like an NFL offense. Everybody got there, when you call in the plays super long, all this. And it was very like detail oriented. And that year, we had our star quarterback transfer to another school, and we ended up with a 9th grade quarterback. And this offense was still the same. You coming in, you calling these plays for this 9th grade quarterback. He's fresh coming out of junior high school. And it was too much for him. It was to the point where our wide receiver would run a 20, 30-yard route, run all the way to the sideline to get the play, to come in the huddle, to call the play. So the quarterback, and repeat it to the quarterback and back, just make sure they're on the same page because the quarterback couldn't handle the situation. It was too much for him. It's too complex. I think at some point we kind of like dumbed it down a little bit for him, which, and you got to do that in this game. There's nothing against the person. They may not just be able to pick up all the terminologies, all the extra details, everything that goes into the play or what to look for. It's just too much to handle for someone coming out of junior high school, stepping on a high school team and being a 9th grade quarterback. And this is just an analogy. Again, these are NFL players. They should know because they played on many different levels. But at the same time, you know what I mean? For them to get to that point, they had to be good at something. So you need to tap into what they're good and great at and expand on that rather than just running it your way. Now, everything ain't going to be catered to them because at the same time, you still have to run your defense, your scheme. You still got to instill in them and input in them, but it can't be just all you this, and they not getting it, and then you're not doing nothing about it. You have to make the adjustments. We talk about it. Why every game, it ain't until the second half that we come out and we play better. Because whatever game plan you had didn't work for the whole first half, and you waited to halftime to make the adjustments. Why you can't make that shit on the fly? Now we're learning why we couldn't. You know what I mean? He probably had to sit down and explain them or whatever. But again, Ron should have stepped in a long time ago, in my opinion. So it's just like I'm really done with this coaching staff, to be honest. And you know what I mean, even I mean, week to week, we said I would love to see what EB can do. And this kind of leads into the next question. You know, what should we do with EB? I can't just say hand the keys over to EB right now. I can't. Beginning of the year, I would have been like, man, fire Ron right now and make EB the coach because you going in blindly. He coming off a Super Bowl team. He had all this, you know what I mean? But and you sitting there looking at it and go, dog, these third and ones and fourth and ones is just like, it's inexcusable. You still running this delayed draw, off tackle, shotgun bullshit. How are we still running this?
How?
You are a Super Bowl offensive coordinator. It don't take you to call plays a couple of years before now to know that you don't do that on third and fourth and one. Or when you do it, it ain't working, that you need to do something else. I don't get it. I don't know if it's a cockiness thing. It was rumors of him and Jack arguing. I never got to see that video. Reedy mentioned it. But it's just like, I don't know. So I can't say hand the keys over to EB right now. I can't.
Absolutely not. Don't hand the keys over for what? The play calling is terrible in certain situations. Key third down, fourth and one. That's all I need to see. You can't get short yardage. You got to power back and you're in the shotgun.
Third and one, we throwing bombs.
Why are we doing that? And Sam never keeps it. So they know that you're giving it to the back.
Like, why are we throwing 20, 30-yard passes on third and one? If you're going to throw the ball, you got to have it underneath. You know what I mean?
They should have called that on second down. If you was going to take that shot, you should have called it on second down.
Take the shot on second down. Second
third
down,
and one,
that damn draw.
You know you may be going to fourth down, but then I think they punted the ball. So why even take that shot?
That's
why?
That's what I'm saying. If you're not going to go for it. So it's just highly questionable. So I can't vouch for EB. I did all off season, beginning of the season. I just can't say
one point. They said, you know, EB, he throws the ball too much, balanced offense. But to be honest, is our running game really doing that much? We'll pop and run here and there, but consistency, they're not getting nothing.
I mean, I've been hearing that too. But again, if you call the right type of run plays, then you can make a better judgment off of it. If all you running is out of the shotgun and it's only working sometimes, you know what I mean? We're complaining about him running out of the shotgun so much. And that's all he does. He runs single back maybe 3 times a game.
I said I formation a couple times this season, but you got a fullback. Let him be a lead blocker.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Go hat on the hat. They got 6 in the box. I mean, 6, 7 in the box. Go man up. Run the ball, run a blast. No tosses, no nothing.
He's not making his case to be a head coach at all right now. And I don't know. Yeah, teams are getting, so yeah, same for EB. Teams are getting hip that we are playing the short game now. I need to see that he can make the proper adjustments. Free Terry, by the way.
Terry got to be better. You're talking about free Terry. Terry has to be better. Terry was very lethargic this last game. He just looked like he was in a shell of himself. And that's just me looking on the television.
Yeah.
You,
Like
you know, you paid top. You want to be this top 10, top 5 receiver. You got to go out and do it. These top 5 receivers, they show up in the clutch. Not saying Terry ain't show up in the clutch, but Terry has been missing.
yeah.
APB out on Terry. Where you at?
We started the episode out. Terry had 11 targets, 4 catches. I'm sure that wasn't 7 overthrows. So, well, you know, what I mean, what happened?
The only consistent one that I've seen consistently through the season, and I know it's going to be fireworks for this.
Logan.
No, Curtis. Curtis. He catches the ball. He don't drop the ball. When he's targeted, he comes down with the catch. He may not get away and get the yak, but he's making plays. Now, Jahan and Terry supposed to be the number 1, number 2 receiver. I mean, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
What are y'all doing?
Yeah. The problem is if you balance the offense because how bad the offensive line is. We asked too much from Sam Howell. I kind of agree too. That offensive line is booty.
But what can we do at this point? We have the cards that we were dealt. They got to play them. You can't get a whole offensive line now. The trade deadline is gone. It was mismanagement on every level throughout the organization. They thought some of these players were it, and they ain't that. It's from top to bottom. But we do have to give EB grace because he inherited this problem. This is Ron's personnel. So if he really could have who he really want, well, he brought in Wiley, so I guess that's his guy.
Yeah. Nah.
But you know, we got to give him a little bit of a pass. But I thought the running game would be a little bit better. Just the situational football, like you keep trying to pass the ball on. Everybody knows we're passing the ball on 3rd down. We never run the ball ever. You can't get 1 yard. Like that's terrible. You can't get 1 yard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you priding yourself on if you can't get 1 yard?
And like Wes just said, we may have one of the worst backfields in the league. L been saying this all year. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week. You know what I mean? We talked about the lack of not having a breakaway guy, and you know, I defended AG in that aspect. But also, I don't necessarily think that Brian Robinson is like all the way bad. I feel like if he's used properly, he will produce more. But at the same time, he does have situations where, you know what I mean, you see him, he get in there shifty, he's cutting back, he do a little bit here and there, but overall, I think he definitely could be better. Sometimes it's like, dude, just run straight and run these people over. Stop trying to, you know, do too much.
This is my thing. If you want to get in a shotgun, if you want to get in a shotgun, I would get in a shotgun with a shiftier back, a more explosive back.
Mm-hmm.
So why, if you're gonna be in a shotgun and you're gonna do that, you have to run that with AG because he can get to the edge a little bit quicker than Robinson can get, and he can move forward to get a yard. So if you want to be in that, you got to have the right personnel. You can't run that with B-Rob. Or even run it. Rodriguez seems to be the one that's able to get the tough yardage. So if that's the case, why not bring him in? Bring in a fullback, bring in an extra lineman or something like that. Go jumbo to get 1 yard. That's what the Eagles are doing. You need 1 yard. Multiple times we could have stayed on the field. 1 yard.
Hey, I still don't understand. Like, I don't give a fuck. I would have been doing the tush push. Like, if it's working for them, you've seen other teams do it.
Nah, not with Sam. You see when they try to run it with Logan, he's sorry.
Why are we running it with Logan?
He's
why?
6'6".
You put Logan right there. You put Logan right there. You know was coming, and then they didn't even come behind and push Logan when he did it. It was just a quarterback sneak.
Because I thought technically it was illegal to push from behind. That's what I thought.
No, they doing it. They doing it every week. Copy it. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. Why not? You know what I mean? The league went to being a pass first league. Everybody copying that. Copy that shit too. It's working. Every 1 yard situation, I'd be doing the tush push if I was any head coach in this league. Why not? I do the shit with Heineke.
That's abysmal.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, Wes says that he thinks B-Rob isn't a bad back. He just don't think that he's a starter in this league, and that he think AG is definitely better for this system. And I've been saying that too, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Personally, EB
West don't
trying
think
hard to get
nobody's
it.
starting
Yeah,
this.
coach. Go ahead.
I want to see what's in his mind, like who he. Nobody's a starter in this league to my man West. God,
Go with it.
my man is critical of everything.
Hey, if year one, if they ain't Mahomes or Burrow, West don't want them.
Right. But yet, when we went back and pulled up the files on what their seasons look like, they first year or two, could nobody say nothing? Okay, all right.
Durant says it starts up front. Don't expect the run game with this O-line. And I mean, again, like where are these dudes we drafted? Stromberg is not on the field. Braden Daniels is not on the field. I haven't seen Braden Daniels all year. It was another guy we drafted that hasn't really touched the field. Where's the guys that was in training camp that was supposed to have been standing out? The dude Mason Brooks, and where are they at?
He's on the sideline. I see him on the sideline. He's the Caucasian guy with the long golden hair.
Is he suited up?
Nah, he's in sweatpants.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's sad. It's sad. Day one starter is not the same as year two starter. Yeah, man. G Dat has entered the chat. He got something to say.
G Dat, what you got to say? Let me hear what you got to say. Put it in the chat.
G Dat texts me every week. Man, oh my God. Oh my God. He texts me when Leonard he tagged us in the post. What we gonna do? What we doing? Everybody that gives at least G Dat wants him. Everything that happened, G Dat like, man, let's go get him. Or what do you need to do? 5 months? I mean, he be heated, but I mean, a lot of stuff that he be saying definitely be true. You know what I mean? Again, like, because we could keep talking, like, it shouldn't have took us this long to get rid of Jack, period. Took too long to make any changes. So it's just like, this year is just done with. I mean, whatever they say we're evaluating. My man Chin is about to be my new best friend. That's the analytics guy. And we're gonna see what he got, what he gonna dial up. There was a tweet came out earlier, a post, and I'm gonna read it. It came out earlier from Washington on the Day, and it says that there's rumors that the Commanders' eventual head coach and GM openers are thought to be among the most attractive in the entire NFL, says CBS Sports. Everyone's shooting for Washington. One personnel executive said of the Commanders' not vacant GM position, Washington has a healthy salary cap situation, good draft picks, and an ownership group that, admittedly, not even half a year into its rule, appears competent. There's an allure to a job in Washington that hasn't been there for a quarter century. I mean, this goes back to what we talk about in the offseason a lot. You know, Reedy had a hard time kind of accepting this, but we just wasn't an attractive organization prior to now. I mean, just period. Players didn't want to come here. Coaches didn't want to coach here. Nobody wanted to work for Dan. You know, and Reedy used to battle like, man, Dan paying money. Dan, it's not that big of a deal. It's an NFL organization, and it's just like, if it's not an environment conducive for people to grow, some people just ain't gonna want to be there. So it seemed like those days are turning. How you feel about that?
We'll see. I already said we'll see. I ain't even gonna wrap y'all up too much with it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I ain't too optimistic. Yeah, it's always these reports that don't ever, pan out. So we'll see.
No, I definitely think it's gonna be an attractive situation. I mean, it's why wouldn't it be? You know what I mean?
90 million goes real quick.
It does. But I mean, that's just 90 million projected now. I mean, that could still be getting rid of some guys that you think that are going to be on this team next year, and you get rid of them, that's even more cap.
Well, it's 90 million, but look at all of these pending free agents we got. We got Cam Curl, we got Curtis, we got Logan, we got AG. That's just 4 right there.
Out of those 4, maybe 1 comes back.
And who's that?
Curl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to re-sign Logan. The writing's on the wall for AG, and Curtis just makes too much. Curtis may not even want to come back unless he's going to come back on the cheap. And
Yeah.
So out of those four, you may got one person. Go ahead.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I think I see 7-2 over the next 9. Yeah, we definitely could beat Dallas. We could beat Giants.
But did I lie anywhere though? To be honest, truthfully,
all of them was winnable games.
Let's call a spade a spade. We can
Well,
beat.
no. Dallas wasn't a winnable game.
We could beat any of these teams if we show up and play. We should have beat Seattle. We should have beat. What's the games I say that come back to haunt us?
Seattle, the Bears, the Giants twice.
The first game against the Giants. Well, both games against the Giants. The Eagles games. Like we could have. It could a play here or there. We would have won those games. It would have been a lot different. Yeah, I did say we was gonna go 7-1 over the last 7-2.
7-2
over the last 9. But yeah, that's dead. So at this point, I lost.
I think he only had us losing to the Dolphins and the 49ers.
Yeah. That was terrible. Abysmal. Yeah, but that's the homer in me, man. I sometimes I don't want to see it how it's supposed to be seen.
Yeah. For sure. Everybody's saying this, we should have got Gonzalez stuff. I mean, we still don't know. Gonzalez was hurt. I mean, yeah, he was pretty good through a few games, and so was Fulb at first. You know what I mean? It wasn't until what, week 3, week 4, that Fulb started getting cooked, and then about that time, the same time as when Gonzalez got hurt. So maybe not. We don't know.
When the statement hit the airwaves, I knew it was wrong.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and chill, Bob.
Go ahead. Elevate Forbes under a new defensive coordinator. I mean, you might as well just play these guys. Like, what are we waiting for? Like, see what you got. Khalid needs to be on the field more. Jabril Cox needs to be on the field more. Force, I think Force is coming back soon.
I've seen your man 47 on the field in this last game, and he got beat way across his face for a first down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's football, that happens, but these people, be careful who we talking about. We won in the game because I seen him in the game, and I seen him get cooked a couple times. Not just him, but another guy he was called for being in the game, and they was getting cooked. Now I see why they wasn't in the game.
You talking about Mayo?
No, not Mayo.
Jabril got in the game too?
No, 47. What's his name?
Khalid,
yeah. That guy.
He was getting cooked on the cross routes.
Yo, these comments is crazy.
Go ahead. That was
fun. Yo, shit.
Go ahead. Okay,
you got Gina, you got
hilarious.
Keep that on the tuck. That's a fact,
though. Dude, that's a fact. But nah, though, man. So I mean,
but that's high praise for him, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Go ahead.
Because Slim wasn't taking the ball away like Slim pedigree, so that's a bad comparison.
Go ahead. But yeah, I mean, we just need to see what these young, these players can do, and just see what we got and move forward from there. I mean, even on the offense, the offense is pretty young, but at the tight end position, Cole needs to get more targets. I think he had one catch, 29 yards the other day,
and that was a tip off the shoe, the old Madden glitch. That went like, come on, bro.
Go ahead. He just needs to get more involved.
Some had the audacity to post it to his story. What?
I didn't really see that.
Oh my god! I was done when I seen that.
Man, these players probably just need anything to keep them happy after going through shit like this for a whole season. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I mean, we got the Dolphins up next, and
Hold on, let me pose this question to the chat. I've been seeing a lot of stuff saying with us possibly having the 7th pick right now, if it continues, and we have a top 10 pick, do y'all think we should go get Bowers from Georgia? How do y'all feel about that? A tight end? When we got concerns at offensive line, I feel like which is a more needed position. You think we should go get a tight end? Is he that much of a game changer? I mean, from what I've seen, he's nice, but is he that much of a game changer that we need to go get a tight end with that first pick, given all the other needs that we have?
yeah, I seen something from one of the pages we follow. He was basically saying that, yeah, here it is right here. The most logical and realistic pick for the team should be Brock Bowers. A lot of people say O-line, but I just think it's too risky. The team has 2 second-round picks that both should be used on linemen. If this team miraculously gets a good enough draft pick that gets Marvin Harrison, I just don't think you can pass on him. So he's saying go Bowers, go O-line in the second round with 2 picks. But if you know what I mean, somehow get a top pick somehow, Marvin Harrison should be on your list. I mean,
so they're saying go back to back because I think at 37, what is it, 34 and 37 we pick in the second round? Am I mistaken?
Yeah, somewhere in that it'll be like 30, somewhere in that 33 to 32nd is still a first round, but it's somewhere in that 33 to 35.
That's I said 30, it was 34 and 37 because we picked like almost back to back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's gonna be in that mix. Yeah,
so they're saying go O-line there twice, back to back.
Correct.
And then in the first round, you take if you can get Harrison.
Changer.
Harrison is he's probably going to go number 2. So are we going to be able to get up that high to number 2? Depending on, I mean, it all depends on the wins and losses down the stretch.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Interesting.
Yeah. Duran, he said no, go O-line with the first pick. Are there any linemen that's projected to go top 10?
Yeah, it's an offensive tackle from I forget his name. I forget what school he goes to, but it's the top offensive tackle supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, State Shop says nah as well. You know, he ain't with the Bowers movement.
So at EBU Trust West. Is that what you're saying? So we're gonna stamp that right here. We don't want no switch ups. What's today's date?
November 26th.
November 26th. Lock it in. West EB.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We will see. That's all we can keep saying is we'll see. I mean, it ain't nothing much to it for real. Said book it. Yeah, I mean, you keep Sam.
I'm not so.
You keep Sam. I think, of course, you're going to keep B-Rob because he's still on a rookie deal. AG more than likely gone. Rodriguez will still be here. Logan will be gone. Cole Turner still on a rookie deal. Monty Rogers rookie deal. Some of them may get, training camp cuts if they definitely, stock up on some tight ends. On the lineman side, Leno should go. Who's our left guard? Chris Paul right now. You can keep him. Larson should definitely be kept. Right guard, you got Cosme. Cosme, you keep, of course. Cosme gonna be coming up on a deal in 2 years, I believe. And then Wiley, Wiley gone. Receiver, you got Terry. Of course, Terry still is under deal. Samuel's likely to be gone. Jahan under deal. And then after that, it's a bunch of 1-year guys. I mean, Crowder, Diami. I think Diami's on his last year. Who else? Pringle gonna be gone. Who else in that receiver room? Did I miss anybody? Of those 6 players, those likely like 3 to 4 of them to be gone.
Diami, Curtis, and Pringle.
Yeah, Diami, Curtis, Pringle, and Jameson all probably will be gone next year.
They might bring Jameson back. I can see them bringing him back.
I mean, yeah, I definitely would. Just on the punt return end of it, and a safety net if you got to use him on the offense. Veteran guy, veteran presence. He definitely should be brought back, but if so, only on another 1-year deal.
Yeah, Dax Miller.
Yeah, Dax will be gone. On the defensive side, I mean, you got young guys now. You got KJ Henry. He gonna be there. Smith Williams. I don't know what his contract situation is. I feel like he might have signed a re-up a couple of years ago. Then you got of course Payne and Allen in the middle. I would trade Allen. I mean, that's just been how I'm rocking. I just don't think, for me, he does a lot of talking. I think he's definitely, what's the word I want to use? A dependable player, I guess I want to say. He's not trash or nothing like that. I just don't think that he does enough. And if you're not gonna trade Payne right after that deal. If they do, I'd be super surprised. So with Allen having more years already off of his deal, he would make the most sense if you're gonna trade one of the two. If
That's 1 year.
it's a
1 year off
difference.
his deal. 1 year off of his deal because he signed the year before.
I thought it was
Payne
2 years
signed
before.
that was the year before.
Okay. So yeah. So then on the linebacker side, we all knew. I mean, Jamin is still on the rookie deal, so of course he's gonna be there. But when outside of Jamin, everybody else is 1 year guys.
But Devin White, all of them is going to be out there in free agency this year, so they got to make it work. They got to make that $90 million work for them.
Yeah, for sure. But do you go? I still think you got to draft a linebacker at some point. Like
I feel like, yeah, we definitely got it. We definitely need a linebacker or two. But it depends on what scheme, what defensive coach comes in here, and what they prefer. So we don't necessarily know. But I feel like Cam Curl will be back. You still got Forrest back there. Percy Butler will still be here because he's on a rookie deal.
St. Jude will be here.
St. Jude will be here.
Forbes.
Fuller
probably be gone.
So yeah, I mean, you got some building blocks back there, but we need to bring in at least 3 or 4 dogs on the defensive side of the ball to kind of turn things around.
Yeah, but why we can't never get lucky like Dallas get lucky? And they'll say this all the time. Dallas get a guy like Bland. Gems. Yeah, they find gems. They get a guy like Bland. Like, where did he come from? I ain't know nothing about him prior to
Dallas to me, I feel like it'd be 1 year. They're good 1 year, and then the next year they're not as good or they're okay. And then we're still hyping them up off the year before. So I mean, they do strike lightning in a bottle sometimes. Like the kick return kid they got.
Mm-hmm.
When they originally got Diggs, when they really originally got Diggs, I thought CeeDee Lamb was a good player coming out.
Yeah, but remember they was talking about character issues and all that stuff. He ended up panning out. Michael Parsons, they turned him into a freak of nature. You know what I mean? He was just an outside rusher, or regular linebacker, and they got him, all in.
But I didn't even think about this. What do y'all think about Dan Quinn as a head coach?
Do we want another defensive-minded coach to be our head coach? Or I don't think so. I don't want one. I want an offensive guy. Somebody that's going to put up 40 points. I would prefer.
But I also
Mike Daniels.
So I'm hearing this Bobby Slork's situation. Do we bring him in as a defensive coordinator?
It's getting a lot of traction. It's definitely getting a lot of traction.
As a defensive coordinator, or we're talking about head coach? Because has he been a coordinator yet? Because I think he's still a position.
He's a coordinator. I think he's a coordinator now.
Oh, okay.
I think he's a coordinator with Houston, ain't he? Let me look.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But if we bring in an offensive-minded coach, I mean, who's out there? Well, okay, we talking about Ben Johnson. I prefer somebody.
Slork is an offensive coordinator with Houston right now.
Oh, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he got Stroud out there.
So defensive assistant. He was with us, but then he went over to offense. Okay, gotcha. So he's not a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to like that defensive-minded coach if we're gonna keep EB. And I feel like Harbaugh is to me, my best option right now is Harbaugh. He's West Coast offense, so it's not going to be a clash with EB. But I just feel like I can't think of no dog defensive coordinators that's out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go. You probably got to go somebody that's a part of somebody's system. Yeah, like for instance, like State Shop is saying. Al Harris is the DB coach in Dallas. He could be somebody to look into. Somebody that's like
DB for Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you know what I mean, maybe you pick somebody from you pluck somebody off of the 49ers defense or somebody with a top defense in the league. Maybe you tap into a Patriots assistant. I don't know. But it's just something, you know what I mean? Go for the teams that are doing well and pluck somebody off that staff that's up and coming. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of these teams has been doing, and it's been successful. You know what I mean? Get some new young blood in here. Mike McDaniels is standing on the side of some fucking off-whites. Make him my head coach. I want him as my head coach. He in off-whites. He's off record. Like he ain't, you know what I mean, old school. He ain't this traditional guy. We've had all this traditional shit. And we had all these guys in our building and we let them all go. Like, we got to like tap into that more rather than keep wanting to get. I mean, yeah, we brought Joe Gibbs back. I mean, Joe Gibbs is a great. So we're not arguing that, but you brought Joe Gibbs back. You go get Ron. I mean, you snatched Jay. Jay was like one of those young guys that, you know what I mean, a chance we took on an up-and-coming offense coordinator. And I feel like that situation could have been better, but it's just like, man, like, I don't want Harbaugh. Nothing against it. If we got him, I'll live with it, but I don't want Harbaugh. I want somebody that's young and innovative that's going to come in here and, like, let's have fun. That militant shit ain't working like it used to.
So you think Harbaugh's militant?
I don't necessarily think he's militant, but I definitely think he's going to come with more, you know what I mean, I don't want to use the word structure, but more discipline and more hard-nosed than
you gotta be disciplined.
A young coach. I'm not saying not disciplined, but I'm saying he's going to be more hard-nosed than a guy like Mike McDaniel. I'm gonna keep saying Mike McDaniel because I just think
you can't use Mike McDaniel because he's off the market. So what guy out there?
Somebody like him. So I'm sure he got somebody on his staff that can take something that he's doing. I'm just using him as an example. I mean, Sean McVay was off the market, but then they stopped.
I mean, the only young coach that I can think of that could come in here is the coach from the Lions, Johnson. But at the same time, I want somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah, if you get like, this is my thinking. You bring a Harbaugh in, he's an offensive genius. Take him with EB. That's fireworks. He can go get somebody that can come in here to be a good quality defensive coordinator that's going to put pressure on you, that's going to, you know, give us those innovative things that we want. We just need Harbaugh to manage everything. I like the young coaches, but I feel like even with Sean McVay, his first year, he brought in Phillips, he brought in all of those older defensive guys.
Yeah, but he was the young leader.
Yeah, he was the young leader, but he had a lot of experience to fall back on.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying running the show. That's what I'm saying. They wasn't running the show. He was. I want somebody young to run the show. And back you're asking who in specific, and I need to do my research on a lot of these coordinators and stuff like that. But what I'm just saying is what the league is moving to, and it's been working for a lot of teams. That's all I'm saying. Like, copy some of this shit that's working with everybody else. For years, we want to do it our way, and we ain't been able to do it. That's all I'm saying. I want to just see something different. So it ain't got to be, I mean, it can be a young coach, and he can go get old assistants, and so what? But long as it's ran by somebody that's innovative and creative, you know what I mean, young, it's going to bring excitement. That's just not going to stand there like this all fucking game. That ain't exciting. Who wants to play for that guy?
Well, he's gone. He's gone.
I'm just using him an example. Turn this shit up.
He on this shit now.
That's all I'm saying. Turn this shit up, man. Yeah, like
I think my man Harbaugh will come in here and do a good job. He's been a winner everywhere. San Francisco, when he was a coordinator at Stanford, at Michigan, yes, college, but You need somebody that can structure a program. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Harbaugh, my number one pick.
Yeah, man, I'm not saying I don't. I mean, he's not like the worst option. I think he's a great coach. And again, maybe I should look into Harbaugh or more. But I just want, like, man, go get somebody from Cal's fucking offense. Somebody. We need that Shanahan tree back over here.
Wow, if we keep an EB. The whole thing was saying Sam needs another year with EB.
I mean,
so why are we gonna go get somebody like that? What that's my whole point. Harbaugh makes sense. West Coast offense, Bieniemy, West Coast offense. The same principle.
That's if you keep it Bieniemy. So you're saying if we keep Bieniemy, cool. But
I
again,
think
we just talk.
we need to do
We just
everything.
talk about the beginning. But we just talked about the beginning of this show, this particular episode. How Bieniemy ain't been it, really.
Yeah, but he needed. Yeah, he ain't been it. He need to be better. But I'm not ready to move on from him. You see what Sam is out there doing? It's an extension of EB and the offensive coaches.
I agree with that. But the play calling itself is just trash. How is the person who has the QB you love look good get overlooked? So that's what I'm not okay. So I'm not saying completely get over EB or not consider him. I'm not saying that. I would prefer a young innovative person. Yes, somebody that's gonna bring excitement. But if we don't get that, then yes, EB will be definitely my next best choice, or Harbaugh, however it may be. I just want to see some excitement in this motherfucker organization. So whether that's go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I was going to say. So y'all saying that we overlooking EB as a head coach candidate?
No, he asking me, am I overlooking him because I'm speaking on this young innovative thing so much, and I'm not necessarily. All I'm saying is that I was screaming EB, go get EB last year in the offseason. It was definitely on the top 5 list of wish list. You know what I mean? And we made it happen. I was the most excited person in the building. Only thing I'm saying is EB came in, the play calling, and we spoke on play calling specifically. I understand that he had some issues with the O-line and the situation ain't ideal, but the play calling itself, and I spoke on 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s specifically, highly questionable, and he needs to fix that. So I'm saying is if the organization is not even looking his way, then go the route I'm saying. But I mean, yeah, so he has Sam looking turned up right now. And ideally, it'll be good for him to keep him. Now, whether that's with him as the head coach or the offense coordinator, however it may be, that may be fine. You know what I mean? We might get the best of both worlds and go get another head coach and let EB still be the offense coordinator. Maybe. Do EB stay in under those circumstances? Well, I don't know. But it can just something, man. I just don't want no Ron or nobody that's going to stand there and don't say nothing, or no Bill Belichick looking. I don't want none of that. I want some excitement, some swag. You know what I mean? I want to walk out the tunnel how the 49ers do. Turn this shit up.
Yeah, I agree. You got to let the players have fun. You got to let them show their personality. But me personally, I don't think EB. I'm not going to say he ain't ready. I mean, he's been primed, but he hasn't shown me enough that he's ready to be a head coach. He hasn't. Okay. We doing some good things when it comes to Sam, but like you said, the highly questionable down and distance calls, the formationally, like it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I'm giving him grace because I'm saying we should get. He needs another year to be able to pick who he wants and to transform the offense of how he really wants to do business, not being inherited the offense that he did. But at the same time, I don't think he's ready to be no head coach. I don't. So if okay, hypothetically, EB's the head coach, who's the offensive coordinator? Who we gonna bring in? Because all of these guys that's out here, they not coming to try to be a coordinator. They trying to be a head coach. We can't go get a Ben Johnson, huh?
A young quarterback coach would. So
you gonna promote Trevita to the offensive coordinator?
I ain't say Trevita. I said a young coach. A quarterback coach would. I mean, you could be Trevita or whoever else. It ain't got to be Trevita.
Slim say I ain't on the record of that one. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm not saying Trevita. So yeah, man. Shit.
Slim said they eat turkey wings on us. Go ahead.
Yeah. Put them
Ron John had the personalized icy whites.
Ron. Bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all, ideally in Reedy's mind, ideally in Reedy's mind, he wants EB is the OC, Ron is the defensive coordinator, and Harbaugh is the head coach.
No. Ron gotta go. Ron gotta go.
I'm telling y'all, mark my words. If Ron come out in 2 straight games and hell of a defensive game plan in these next 2 games, he gonna be calling me, telling me, hey, I ain't gonna hold you, Bobby. I ain't gonna hold you, Ron. Ron looking all right. We might just demote Ron and yeah, watch. He love that man. It's cool.
Nah, Ron cool with me though, man. Ron definitely was my man, but
Ryan Clark.
Oh yeah, I definitely said I've been calling for Louis Riddick to come to be the GM for a couple years now.
Ryan
I've been
Clark.
on the back of that. Ryan
Clark.
Fuck him though. I don't fuck with him.
He don't rock with us. He always got something smart to say about this organization. We don't want his pots.
Go ahead. I'm out of the predictions. I respect. They said I'm out of the predictions at the 7-2. That was crazy.
Go ahead. Reedy's still calling for Scott McClure to come back.
That's my man. Scott McClure was the best GM we had since your man. Casserly,
Charlie. That's ill, man. So yeah, man. But shit, we went an hour in. We had a lot to talk about today after this loss. But I mean, we probably spent 10 minutes talking about the game. I mean, the future seems bright in Washington. All these hypotheticals. Yeah, we just hoping for the future, man. And it's only week 12. We talking about off season, so you know where we at with it.
Fuck it, we need to go get Prime. Go ahead, bring Prime home.
Somebody put in the comments the other day, go get Prime. I was like, hell no. Now that's swag though. You go get Prime. You go get Prime. You gonna definitely bring some swag in this motherfucker. So I don't know.
I think Prime will be ready about 2-3 more years. Shit, but I don't think he's gonna come to the league.
You get Prime and EB, that'll be lit. EB probably quit though.
Go ahead.
EB say you bring Prime to be my boss. I'm out of here. But yeah, man. We ain't really talk about the Dolphins game because it ain't really much to talk about. We
need to go get my man.
I'm expecting
the former GM of the Raiders, Mike Mayock. Go ahead and get my man Mayock.
Mel Kiper too.
Nah, go ahead, keep Kiper on it.
Go ahead. But yeah, man. So that seems about it, man. Greg Roman, maybe.
Greg, oh my God. Greg Roman has we gonna run every play. That's the only thing he can't structure is a run game. That's about it. His pass game credentials is terrible. But he'll put together so he could be an assistant coach, not as no OC. We don't got the backs to be a run dominant team. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all.
Yeah, that's all I really got too, man. So Dolphins game, just see what we got. That's all the key to the game. See what you have. Evaluate for the future. But until next time, this is Reedy and Z. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Follow us on all platforms at Reedy and Z. Thank y'all for chiming in with us today on this early Sunday morning. We love y'all. Until next time. Peace out.
Hey, Church, it's your birthday.